Hi, good evening. I'm Suzanne Susanna. We're doing a fireside chat again this evening. I started these several weeks ago as a fun way to pass some cold winter nights. Lots of cold this year. We're having a real New England winter. Maybe you're in a warmer place this evening. I hope that's nice for you. Kind of envious if you are. And we're just looking forward to when we get a break and get some days above freezing. It's been really deep, deep cold. And the exciting thing is that sunrise is before 7 a.m. and sunset is after 5 p.m. We have a whole hour, more than an hour of additional daylight from the dark days of the darkest winter. So I always get very excited about that because we're going toward spring and a better place. Can't wait for that little break in the weather. I was talking with someone about the groundhog the other day. I don't even know what he saw. Did he see 6 more weeks or what did he see? I never paid attention, but I always laugh at what the world must think of the intelligence of a country that places their future on what a rodent does that comes out of a hole in the ground. Sorry, I just think it's amusing. And so good old Groundhog's Day, right? So I want to share a little bit about my brilliant guide dog here. I'm so proud of him. The other day I had some outgoing mail and it really needed to get out. I almost never have outgoing mail, and when I do, I drop it in a post office box. I don't put it in my mailbox. But I really needed to because we weren't going out. So our typical routine is we go out for a walk, and then when we come back into our driveway, I direct him to go right and to the mailbox, and he takes me to the mailbox, and then we bring in our mail. Well, this day when we went out, I explained to him that I needed to go to the mailbox first and asked him if he could take me to the mailbox. And he went straight to the mailbox. I was overjoyed, like so proud of him for being that smart to do something that's completely out of our routine and to just nail it. First time, straight to the mailbox. So I've been so excited to share that because I just can't even describe the brilliance of working with a boy like this and his companionship, and he just knows everything. He knows by what clothing I put on what we're doing that day. And if I put on yoga clothes, he knows. He just goes off somewhere, lies down and watches me because he knows he's not going to go. There's no place for him at yoga. But if I'm dressed for business and getting ready to go out, he's all ready to be on board because he goes to all my meetings and all my appointments, and he's my chief executive dog, my business partner, right, buddy? So I just appreciate him more literally every single day. And so moving on to the subject of blindness, as many of you know, I've been very blind for about 25 years, and I started getting some visual improvement last May and June when I started working with Dr. Walter Campbell down in Florida. And his treatment significantly improved my vision. Yes, I still function as a blind person, and people joked, well, Ollie's going to be out of a job. Well, he's far from out of a job yet, but I see so much more around me. This morning in the very early dawn, we were on our way to a meeting. I was riding with a friend who picked me up, and I could get a lot of feeling of going down the road and what was passing us on the sides of the road, and more information visually than I've gotten before. Could I get in a car and go drive it? Absolutely not. Not there yet. but it is improved vision. And something I noticed recently was when we go out in our backyard, there's a beautiful ornamental maple tree right out our back patio, right off of our back patio. And I walked out the other night and I looked and I said, my goodness, I can see that tree. And the barren tree branches in the winter are so artistic against the night sky. And then I could see the moon like behind the branches in the sky. It was beautiful. And I just stood there appreciating that because I couldn't see that before. I couldn't see that little tree. I knew it was there, but I could appreciate the beauty of just a barren tree on a winter night. And so there are little experiences like that that make me realize that my vision is still getting better in small increments, and I'm going to keep going with the work I'm doing, and still working with Dr. Campbell, following his protocols, and that's really what I'm working on. And clean living is so important. I can't clog my body with seed oils or sugars or unhealthy foods. So I am very particular about what I eat, and that's what I teach, because being sick is not fun, and there are a lot of us on our way to type 2 diabetes now. It's projected that by 2030, half of our population is going to have type 2 diabetes. So which half are we, and which half do we want to be? I don't ever want to get type 2 diabetes. It ruins the enjoyment of life. It ruins the enjoyment of family. It really ultimately takes everything. And this being Heart Month, with all the cupids and arrows and chocolates and hearts, and it's a fun month. And I just heard, you know, those little conversation heart candies that used to say kiss me and love and all those cute little sayings. Well, apparently the company has changed them to new, more up-to-date sayings, and there's a bunch of really funny comments, maybe like pay your rent, or I can't remember them now, but if you look for those little conversation hearts, I think they're going to be different than what you might have remembered in the past, and hopefully they're funny and amusing, but not the little old kind of romantic love conversation hearts of the past. But heart health, do you have any idea how many gallons of how many gallons of blood our heart pumps every day? Like, nobody gets this question unless you're a medical person and you already know. But it's 2,000 gallons of blood our heart pumps every day. And imagine the job that is. And picture sitting hunched over your computer all day long without moving. How hard is that heart working? And so moving is essential. It's really of great value, but a lot of us don't, because we're so entrenched in the work we're doing. But this is why Beamer, which is supports microcirculation, and this is why they made this little mat right here that you sit on any place you are, at your desk, in your car, on an airplane, and then it promotes circulation in the body of the microvessels. Our bodies are 74% tiny vessels, little venules and arterioles and capillaries. And So you connect this mat to this little computer. It's about the size of an iPad. And then you set the program that you want for whatever it is you're needing. And it's just so supportive to our blood flow. It's great for relieving tension, for lowering stress. And then I have people come to see me for beamering things that hurt: knees, ankles, backs, shoulders. And it's really a favorite thing. It's holistic, it's non-invasive. I always love it when I can find something that's really natural and that really works. And it's something I use every single day, and it is a great assistant to our heart. So instead of sitting there with our poor heart trying to move all that blood down to our toes and up to our brain, the beamer chimes in and supports that effort for just overall better oxygen in the body, better blood flow, and better elimination of CO and the toxins that are naturally in our body. So if you're getting a box of chocolates, I hope you get a good box of chocolates. And another thing I wanted to mention about chocolate is the organic raw cacao. I've mentioned it before. I'll mention it again because it is so good for our cardiovascular system and for our heart health. And it can be ordered online. Be sure you get organic, and then you can stir it into a beverage or your smoothie or your coffee, and that is a bonus and a plus for good heart health. So I really try not to eat sugar. If somebody buys me chocolates, I'll probably at least have a polite one or two, but I don't really need chocolates because I love the aspect of, I've worked really hard to get away from loving sugar because I've been so addicted to sugar in the past, and it was a long journey to really work my way out of being, just so needing sugar all the time for energy and for entertainment, and we're just sucked right into it, right? So I do appreciate how wonderful chocolates can be, a really good box of chocolates, but I mostly just try and avoid the sugar because I feel so much better when I do. Let's see, we have another week before I need to say Happy Valentine's Day. But anyway, I think it's on everybody's mind. Maybe buy flowers instead of chocolates and go out for a really nice steak dinner. Maybe that's a better option. Thank you for being here this evening. Lean into your good health and living with vitality. It's so worth it. And stay as active as you can if you're here in the cold part of the country. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week, and be well.